Well, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and lie down on our backs for starters. Today we're going to be uplifted. Going to be uplifted. So take a moment on your backs. Just take a moment to check in with your breathing. If you're wearing glasses, you can put them aside. We will be using our eyes in this lesson. The eyes will help us organize a lot of the movements we'll be doing. So just take a moment there on the floor and sense your contact. How much of your back is resting on the floor this morning? What sort of feedback do your shoulder blades receive from the floor? The right shoulder blade and the left. Yeah. And the space in between. And since your rib cage resting on the floor. And you can note how much of your lower back or how far your lower back might be pulled away from the floor. Or lifted. And then notice how your pelvis rests on the floor. And your head way up there, north of your pelvis. You can roll your head to see if one side is a little more comfortable this morning. And of course, notice the length of your legs and your heels resting on the floor. And since we'll be sort of focusing on this part of ourselves from time to time in the lesson, just listen to the metatarsals of your feet, the big toe and the next toe, ball of the foot, of each foot, and your heels. In a sense of, actually, we did this in the last class. We outlined with our minds the borders of our feet. So go ahead and do that. Why don't you stand your right foot? Stand your right foot on the floor and imagine someone tracing around the edge of your foot to draw the shape of your footprint on a piece of paper. Trace around all the curves and the toe pads. You can even go in between the toes. And when you feel like you've got a good imprint or a good picture of the shape of your foot, then go ahead and when you're ready, because I have no way of knowing. When you're ready, you can stand up the other foot and lengthen down the right leg and do the same with the left foot. So trace around on a piece of tracing paper. Trace around your foot. And when you're done with that, then you can come and, well, lengthen down your leg for a moment when you're done with that one. And then with your feet not contacting the floor, can you simultaneously draw around each foot, starting at the very back of the heel and going around the outer border of the foot. The feet are resting on the floor, and you just sort of outline them in space. Outline them in space. Yeah, did you have a question, Anita? No, you're good. Okay. Yeah. No feedback from the floor, so sort of a ghost outline. As though someone were running a finger around the borders of your feet. And when you have completed that, then please come onto your stomach in the most comfortable way. And we will do a test movement. We'll do a test movement. And the test movement will be, let's see, let's draw up the right leg. Let's draw the right leg out to the side, the knee along the floor out to the side. So maybe turn your face to the right. Turn your face to the right. The hands can be resting on the floor on either side of the head. So like a little baby has just drawn up. And from here, stand both your hands on the floor in a comfortable position and lift your head as though you wanted to see your right heel. You don't have to see it. So how would you lift your head as though you wanted to see your right heel? And just notice how that goes. How do you lift your head? How far does your head lift? And let's see, everyone's looking for the right heel underneath their right elbow. That's interesting. What if you, I'm going to add another something more specific. Look over your right shoulder as though you wanted to see over your right shoulder. And you might not see your heel at all, but just, yeah, you know where it is. You outlined it 2 or 3 times. And you lift the head to just, this is just our test movement to see how we start. And then draw up the other leg. Send the right leg down. Turn your face so that your right cheek is down. Stand your hands and take a moment there to just sense your position there, your breathing. Now just think about it first. Think of lifting your head to look over your left shoulder as though you wanted to see your left heel. Just think about it. So both hands are standing. Barbara, both hands are standing. There you go. There you go. That's it. Because you're going to need that hand to push. You're going to need that hand to push. And go ahead and lift your head as though you wanted to see. But only comfortably. Only what you can do comfortably. Only what you can do comfortably, which might be a very small movement. So we'll see how we improve on this. Let's do one more test movement. So send both legs down and rest your arms on the floor and your forehead on the floor. Now slide your hands into standing again. So the elbows are in the air on either side of your chest. And imagine that a little mouse is just popped out of your mouth and ran along the floor in front of you and started running up the wall. And how far up or away from you could you follow that little mouse? And it comes right up the center. Go little mouse right up the wall. And the next time you do that movement, do it with your eyes. And we're not, it's just, yeah, the eyes are following a little mouse. And the little mouse runs to the end of the room and starts to run up the wall, or in Barbara's case, her dresser. I don't know what is in front of Anita, but over there at the end of the room, you follow the mouse as he goes up the wall. And we're going to be doing this for a while, so rest as you need to, and don't work hard. Don't work hard. Rest as you need to. Reset. Just and think that the mouse really starts right out the middle of your mouth and the middle of the nose, the middle of the eyes. The eyes are going up. So you're really lifting right in the middle so that we can use both sides of the back equally. Both sides of the back equally. So use your eyes. Do not be concerned with how high you lift. Just use your eyes to follow them. When he runs out of sight, he runs out of sight. But you notice at what point your eyes, at what place you stopped. And come rest on your back. Come rest on your back. Stand both your feet so your back can be a bit longer. And interlace your fingers and bring your hands behind your head. Bring your elbows close to your head and help your head lift right in the middle to look in between the knees. So stand your feet, Anita. There you go. Stand your feet so you can look in between your knees. Maybe follow the mouse as it runs between your feet along the floor to the opposite wall. No, nothing abrupt, nothing powerful. We're just watching. Okay, rest everything down. Bring your hands down, your legs down. And feel how you touch the floor. And come again onto your belly. And place one hand on top of the other. on the floor, one hand on top of the other, and rest your forehead on the back of whatever hand is on top. A hand sandwich, a hand head sandwich. And now turn under the toes of your right foot. Turn them under so you stand on the big toe and the next toe. And do that a number of times slowly. So that means you're going to flex the front of the ankle, and the toes, the big toe and the next toe will find the floor and stand on it. Stand on it like at a runner's starting block. And stand the toes a little better each time and see if you can flex the ankle a little better each time. Think of having a very long heel and stand the toes well. Rest in between. And now, the next time that you stand your toes, straighten the right knee. Straighten the right knee, bring it away from the floor. Several times, slowly, so that you're standing on the pads of the big toe and the next toe, where you'd like wear a flip-flop. And then you lift the knee from the floor and straighten the leg and feel what happens in your back. Feel what happens anywhere. In your back, in your pelvis, in the front of the leg, in the back of the knee, in the heel. And each time you straighten the leg, stand the foot better. Stand the toes better before you straighten the knee. Can you imagine the sole of your foot? Can you see that outline of your foot as you stand on the toes, straighten the leg? Okay, rest from that. You can turn your head to the side. You can bring your arms down, whatever you need to do. Sense the difference between your 2 feet. And then bring your hands again under your forehead. Maybe have the other hand on top, if that's comfortable. And begin the process of standing the left toes. Pulling back the forefoot, increasing the angle in the front of the ankle, and stand on the big toe and the next toe. And stand nicely, stand well each time. And some of you are already applying standing the toes and straightening the knee. So go for it. Stand the toes and you straighten the knee. And what does straightening the knee change? You can really sense, take some time to sense the length of the leg, the alignment of the thigh and the calf and the middle of the heel. So if you were standing up on the ground, this leg would be perfectly straight and parallel, toes pointing forward. So how close is that foot going to be to the other foot so that the leg can be straight down from the hip joint? And sense the outline of your foot. Sense the outline of your foot. Oh, thank you, Anita. Yeah. Can see even better now. Good, good girl. Pause from that. Pause from that. Now you might have sore ankles, I'm sorry. So rest frequently. And Anita's already ahead of the curve. So turn both toes, yes, Barbara caught on. Turn both toes under and straighten both knees. And listen to the difference. Is there a difference in the two legs and the two knees and in the ankles? Which one can stand better? You lean on the toes and you straighten the knees. You have nice straight legs. Nice straight legs. And feel what happens in your back. When you straighten the knees, what happens with the pelvis? This is also a chance to measure, are you even on the right and on the left? How can you make yourself more symmetrical, but in a comfortable way? Can you even out the right and left sides? Right up the middle of the butt crack, right up the middle of the spine, right up the back of the head. Good, good. Rest on your backs. Sense the feeling in your legs and feet, your contact with the floor through the back. And come again onto your stomach. And let's see if something has changed. So place your forehead down and stand your hands on either side of your chest. And lift the head and watch that little mouse run away from you up the wall. Watch the mouse. Don't look at me. The mouse is running away. Yes. Now, turn the toes under and straighten the knees the next time you lift the head and watch the mouse run up the clock, run up the wall. Straighten the knees as you lift the head and the eyes. So each time you lift the head, you straighten the knees. And of course you're breathing. Of course you're breathing. The breathing is easy. You do what's comfortable without force, because how high you lift is not important. It will improve regardless of where you start. Okay, good. Rest and have your face turned to the right. Have your hands resting one on the other, but have the right hand on top so that you can place your left cheek on the back of the right hand. And now draw your right leg out to the side at a 90-degree angle. So bend the knee. So bend the knee out to the side at a 90-degree angle. And with the help of your right hand, with your face turned to the right, lift your head and set it down several times. lift your head and set it down. And listen for, as you begin to lift the head, a feeling of creeping. A feeling of creeping up in the direction of the head. That you're somehow moving away from the right leg. So you lift the head and there's a sense that you're moving along the floor a bit. Don't do quickly, don't do it abruptly. How high is not important. How high is not important. With the help of the right hand, lift the head. So the hand will stay stuck to the cheek. That's it. And now keep the head down. You can simply rest it as it is and lift the left leg. Lift the whole leg in the air. Lift the leg a few times with the same, listening for the same feeling that the leg lifting causes you to creep along the floor a little bit up towards the head. So it's almost like the leg is somehow pushing the skeleton up a little bit. Which means you kind of start to move away in very micro movements away from your right bent leg. So you might need to continue correcting it so that it stays bent out to the side, or you can bend it better out to the side. You can reach down with your hand, pull your right knee a little closer to you, and then lift the left leg a few more times. Have the hands under the head. Have the hands under the head. We want to have the right conditions. Yeah. Now, is your head lifting as well? Go ahead, allow your head to lift the next time. Lift the leg and lift the head. Lift the head by itself. Lift the leg. You can lift the leg and the head together. You can lift the head with the help of the right hand under the left cheek and lift the leg. Everything's going forward and up. And now turn the toes of the left foot under. Turn the toes of the left foot under, and with the help of the right hand, help the head lift as you're looking to the right and straighten the left knee and lean on the toes. Straighten the left knee and lift the back. And leave it and come for a rest on your back. When you're ready, come again onto your belly and turn your face to the left. Draw your left knee out to the side at a 90-degree angle towards the belly. And rest your left hand on the back of your right hand. So here's our starting position. Left hand resting on the back of the right hand, right cheek resting on the back of the left hand, left leg drawn up towards the belly at a right angle. And now with the help of the left hand, lift the head several times, but listen for that feeling of creeping. So the left elbow will come away from the floor as well. So I should say left arm, yeah. With the help of the left arm, lift the head as it is turned to the side. And listen for a feeling of creeping, moving a tiny bit in the direction of the head. This is why we need to have the leg bent at right angles to you. If you possibly can, pull that leg closer to your belly, because there's something about this position that encourages this function of creeping that we develop very, very early. You did this a long time ago. How high the head lifts is not important. Keep the hand attached to the head and lift it as a unit. Lift the back, soften the back, and go up. And then rest from that. Good girl, Barbara, you just rest as you need to. But stay in the position and lift the right leg from the floor several times. But not just to lift it in a way that you lift the leg and the body moves forward. There's a creeping. And then lift the head together with the leg. Lift the head together with the leg. How far, how high is not important. Lift the head with the arm. It's the opposite arm, opposite leg. It's a diagonal. And then turn the toes under of the right foot. Orient the back of the heels straight up towards the ceiling so it's parallel. And straighten the leg a few times. Just not by pushing through the foot, but simply bring the knee away from the floor and straighten it. And feel how it connects. Just lean on the toes, straighten the knee a few times. And then just have a little play with lifting the head as you straighten the knee. Does straightening the knee help? The toes stand, create a little bridge of support. The toes stay on the ground. You simply straighten the knee. Straighten the knee and lift the head and the arm. And what happens in your back? Okay, let's rest. Rest on the back. Come onto the belly again. We will draw up the right leg this time and have the face to the right again. Except what's going to be different about this excursion is to have the left hand on top of the right and the face to the right. So the face is, the cheek is resting on the back of the left hand. And from this drawn up position, this pre-crawling situation, lift the head and the left arm. So now we're lifting with the back arm rather than with the front arm. Now, for some of you, this might be the easier option. For others, this might not be so easy. So again, how high is not important. It's enough to engage the back. It's enough for the body to experience the muscles firing while in this position. That's the thing. We're setting up a pattern. Setting up a pattern of action. The right hand could press the floor. You can lean on that. Now, what if you lifted the left leg as you lifted the head? Are you creeping away from your right leg? Stand the toes of the left foot and straighten the knee as you lift the head. Connect up into the back from the toes all the way to the top. And give it up. Give it up. Rest on your backs. Come again onto your belly. And reverse the whole situation, which means your left knee will be drawn out to the side at a 90-degree angle. Pull it up there if you need to. Yeah. And then with your hands on the floor, the right hand will be on top of the left hand and your right cheek will be resting on the back of your left hand. So your nose is facing to the left. And now with the help of your right hand and arm, lift the head. Several times in your own timing. And imagine somebody takes hold of your elbow as you lift and maybe your head, and they help you move up and a little forward, away from the left knee, away from the left leg. Little feeling of moving up, growing longer. And then leave the head down and lift the right leg. Lift the right leg. Set it down. Lift the right leg. Can you grow taller as you lift the right leg? Does the leg push the pelvis up towards the head? How high is not important. It's enough to engage the musculature of the leg. And it's better to just engage the musculature of the leg and not lift it than it is to go, and to try hauling it away from the floor. Just engage the musculature. The brain will put 2 and 2 together. And now stand on the toes. Stand on the toes of the right foot. The knee resting on the floor. And simply lift the knee away from the floor and straighten the leg, not powerfully, not so that the knee locks, but just straighten the knee. And then do that as you lift the head with the help of the left arm. Straighten the knee and lift the head. Did I say left arm? I meant right arm. Thank you, Dillis. So the back muscles are getting an interesting workout. Diagonals, straight lines. The whole back is getting engaged in different ways. Make it better each time. Okay. Roll on your backs and take a rest. Roll your head. Roll your head from side to side. See how that goes. And come again onto your belly. And now place your forehead down and stand your hands on either side of your chest, elbows in the air, and lift the head and the eyes. Lift the eyes. Follow that little mouse. Comes running out from underneath you, and you follow with your eyes. Up he goes, up the dresser, up the clock, up the wall. And where now do your eyes see? Where now do your eyes see? And the next time your mouse runs up the wall, follow him with your eyes and stay there at the highest point that you can see on your dresser, on the wall, or on the ceiling. Stay there with your eyes on that one point. Turn your toes under, stand them, and straighten the knees several times. Keep looking at that point. Keep looking at whatever you're looking at. Keep straightening the legs and feel what that does. Turn the toes under and straighten the knees. 3 or 4 times. and then rest. Rest, and we'll do that again. When you're ready, watch that little mouse, watch that little rascal run out from underneath your chest, right in the middle of the middle, in the middle, in the middle. And see what your eyes see now. The hands stand on the floor so that they might prove useful. They might. And then the next time you lift the head to watch the mouse and see as high as you can see, turn the toes under, stand on them, and straighten the legs 3 or 4 times, keeping your head lifted. Feel how the different way of engaging the back when we lengthen the legs like this. We're turning on the extensors in the legs and in the back. Wonderful. Rest on your back. One last time, come onto your belly. Draw up your right knee at right angles towards your belly. Nice and cozy there, and get it right up there and towards your armpit. And stand your hands and have your face facing to the right. And now lift your head and look over your shoulder, and what's back there? You see the right heel? Maybe, maybe not. But just see what happens as you lift and turn the back with the intention of seeing what is that? What part of me is that? Lift and turn the back and the head. What if you stood the toes of the other foot? Would that help or hinder? It's all just an experiment. Would it help or hinder to gain purchase, if you will, with your left toes? And then try the same to the other side. Draw up the left knee, stand the hands, the elbows in the air, and soften the back, and lift and see, and feel what you do with your back, with your hands on the floor. Oh, nobody was doing that before. Can you have the foot on the floor, Anita? Yeah, the foot on the floor. Draw the knee closer to you. It's not about seeing the heel, really. Yeah. It's about lifting and turning the back. A little bit of a spiral might come through. You can play with turning the toes under and straightening the right knee. Lift and turn the back. Take the eyes back there. Okay. Rest on your back, and that was a lot of work for the back. So we can lengthen our backs. If we bring our knees over our chest and wrap your hands around, one around each knee, and simply lift your head to look in between your knees a few times. You can separate the legs, and look between the knees, peek between the feet. And then you can transfer the weight of your body a little to the right and a little to the left. Just transfer the weight across the back, a little to the right, a little to the left. You can do that with the head down. You can do it with the head lifted. Just let the back muscles lengthen and release. Yeah, you can interlace your fingers, bring your hands behind your head to help your head lift that way. Lengthen the neck. And I think we'll stop here for today. So if you're resting on your back, you can sense what's touching. And if you come to standing, you can feel how did all of that erecting of your back affect your standing? And your walking.
That was powerful.
Ah,
Woo. Yeah.